Hi guys, welcome to another night at the garage. Okay, I've been messing with this thing. I found 2 pan bolts and 1 nut pocket bolt that were jamming up. I was able to, I just found the ones I couldn't turn by my fingers when I put pressure on them. And I got that lined up with that pillar now. And the back one, I can take the pry bar, move it over to where it's perfect. So, somebody's got a hot rod running. So, now, there's a gap between the pillars and the tunnels, which I can pick it up so there's nothing holding it. So that tells me that picking this thing up, I put a little bit of an arch in, which is not a bad thing. I'd rather have it arched a little up than and have the door too high than have it arched down and have the door sagging. So now I'm trying to figure out, I could guess at it and burn a weld or 2 into that A pillar and B pillar and take the jack out and hope, I guess, right? Or I could figure out a way to ratchet strap the body to the pans to where I could pull them together the right distance to where the door works. So that's what I'm working on right now, trying to figure out the best way to compromise with the body and the pans so that door works right. Like I said, I got the A and B pillar to where I can line them up perfect on the outside. Now I just have to get the body and the pans the right distance and then weld them together. And with it all right, that front end is in just a little bit. So they put a little bit too much bend on that tunnel. So I have to decide, do I want to bring home the porta power and just kind of push it over a little bit before I weld it, or what I want to do. But for now, get them posts welded to the pans where the doors fit. As long as those posts are in and the door fits, the rest of this is looking really good. It's just that very front section, just like it's got in just a little bit. Not that it really matters. I mean, all that metal has to get replaced, so I can make that work. So we'll see. So yeah, that's what I'm going to work on tonight. See if I get anywhere. Yeah. Alrighty, guys. Okay. I've tried a dozen different ways to do this, and I wasn't having any luck. So I put a jack under the A pillar, a jack under the B pillar. I got them pillars lined right up with that tunnel, and a respectable gap in between them. I tightened up the pan bolts I could get to, and I put my lockout wedge in the top. So my door gap is good. So now I am going to burn in those, well, I'm going to put a couple of welds in the pillars. Yeah, I shut the door. I got the tunnel lined up with it jacked up, tighten them bolts up, shut the door, put the wedge in to get the top exactly nice gap. And I'll go through the driver's side door and put a couple decent weld on both pillars. Then release everything. I'll weld it good enough to where it'll stay. And then release everything. If it's messed up, I'll cut her loose and try something else, but cross your fingers. I'm going to put a weld on both sides. And then release everything and see where we're sitting. Like I said, I've tried a dozen different things with ratchet straps and jacks, and this is the only thing that makes sense that might work. So we'll get her welded in and see how that door opens and shuts. At least that side was never hit, so it's always had good gaps, so hopefully I can keep it that way. Okay guys, I burned a couple welds into both pillars. I released the jacks. And did not hear any popping, so my welds must have held. I let it cool for a little bit. I took that wedge out. I have not tried to open that door yet, but that top gap looks really promising. So most of the pans tightened up on this side, and I got the front and back pillar welded in, and what's the door gonna do? Oh boy. Holy shit. Actually, that's just about perfect. That striker needs to come up just a hair. I mean, it's... I don't know if I can even do this. I think if that striker was up just a frickin' hair, it would frickin' just slide in there. Can't tell if it's going up or down. Well, either way, that is so close. It worked! Holy shit. Oh man, now I just gotta weld the shit out of that so it can't go anywhere. But that's where she's gonna be. I figured I got that thing up there welded in, let loose, and it would just sag that door. But hey, that's what I call a pretty decent gap. You can't ask for anything more than that. Alrighty. One side where it's supposed to be. Now I just got to weld them posts better so they don't and can't move. And this side is locked. So yeah. Let me see what else I can do tonight. Alrighty guys. I can't believe that worked. I told Lisa I improvised and just did it what I thought would work, and she says that's the best way. That's how you should always do it, because you're so brilliant. And I'm like, I always doubt myself. I got some welds on the sides. I put a little pressure on the outside of the tunnel just to make sure it wasn't trying to droop. A little coat hanger action going on. So first run of half-ass welds, I got to take a wire, get the wire wheel on the grinder, clean that all up, grind her down a little bit, and go back to welding. I don't need Joe all pissed because I'm globbing it up. But I would say that's locked in. And I would say that shuts pretty damn good. A little squeaky squeaky coming from my hinges. But that's a pretty good gap there. Gap there. And gap there. I would say that side's a success. The other side, on the other hand, like I said, it's been hit in the front, in the door, and the back. And that's going to take a little bit of figuring to figure out. But clean those welds up. Run a weld again. Probably cleaned it up, grind it, weld it again till that is locked into place. That front piece, like I said, I think it's bent a little more than it should be. I'd like to put some pressure against it to push it back into that kick panel a little bit and get that welded up in there, and get this side locked in, and then we'll worry about the other side, because at least once this is all locked in, the car is all bolted down, I can mess with those pillars once everything else is locked in. That's the plan. Can't ask for anything more than that. But I had to help Lisa do a couple things, and it's late, so I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Alrighty then.